Hello, it's day 313, and I want to talk about what to eat. You can get used to anything if you give it enough time. And back when I was seriously dieting and restricting, I used to tell myself that. I used to tell myself that eventually I would get used to a super low calorie diet. Eventually I would get used to the bland foods and cutting out all of the foods that I loved. And eventually I would no longer feel hunger. Hunger would just be normal for me. It would just be how I felt, and I wouldn't even think about it anymore. I believed those things the way that little kids believe in fairy tales. I wanted it to be true so bad, but that didn't make it any more true. And a lot of times when I make these videos, I picture myself talking to that person I used to be, that person who believed that the only way to success was to be skinny. And when I do that, I feel like I want to go back in time and tell that person that you can't impose normal eating habits from the top down. You have to build them from the bottom up, and that is a really scary process. I feel oftentimes that diet advice, like all of the diet advice that you get, most of it's really good, but the problem is that it's been twisted by an industry that is trying to make money off of you. Before intuitive eating, I never asked myself what I wanted to eat. I would always look somewhere else for what I wanted to eat. What should I eat? What can I eat? I had a big long list of things that you don't eat and things that you could eat, but I never really checked in with my own body. And the only way I can explain this is by using the metaphor of sneezing. Like, follow me on this one. You know what it feels like to sneeze. You know what it feels like to, have that build up and have it like come out of your face. And you can fake a sneeze, but you can't do so effectively. Like, you can't just make yourself sneeze convincingly. And that's what it was like when I was dieting. I couldn't convince myself that I was full. I knew what it felt like, but I couldn't fake it. I couldn't fake satisfaction even though my brain really wanted that to happen. It's like feeling that sneeze and feeling it recede. You can't just make it. You can't just get it to go. That's exactly what it was like. I used to have huge problems with foods like pizza, foods like soda. I would restrict them to the point where I could only eat them certain times, certain days, and only if I did certain things, certain workouts. But we've all heard the diet advice, like don't subtract foods, add foods. Don't punish yourself with exercise, do it because you want to. I didn't understand those things in a concrete sense because I had never felt that. I had never felt that build up to that particular sneeze. God, this is such a crappy metaphor, but I hope you know what I mean. Like pizza, I could only eat it on Fridays. I could only eat it on Fridays that I exercised. And because of that, when I broke the rule, it was like an all-out binge of pizza. No joke. But now I have no restrictions on pizza. I could get on the phone right now and order Domino's if I wanted to. The reason I'm not doing that is because I'm doing intuitive eating and I don't want pizza right now. I went from having pizza every week, overeating it every week because that was my only chance. It was my last chance until the next week. I probably haven't had pizza in over 2 months now. The fact that I can have it any time means that I don't want it as much, as paradoxical as that sounds. And that is the point where I think most people lose intuitive eating. That's like the first stage of intuitive eating, is taking away all of these restrictions and eating whatever you want. And that's the part of intuitive eating that gets made fun of on the internet. That's the part that people laugh at, like, ha ha ha, these idiots. Don't they know that they're just going to be 600 pounds if they do that? I'm losing weight on intuitive eating, and I'm not even trying. And it's so weird to me now because people who use intuitive eating as a diet are not going to find success with it. The only way you find success with it is by using it as a health tool and learning how to eat normally. Asking yourself, what do you want to eat? And not expecting someone else to answer. Oh, you can only have kale. You can't have rice. You have to have riced cauliflower. And listen, sometimes I want kale and sometimes I want cauliflower. But if I want rice, I'm gonna go eat rice because I know eating rice now is going to save me from binging rice for the next 6 weeks because I'm not telling myself no. And when you don't tell yourself no, you end up eating less of the things that you thought you were going to eat until the world ended. No one can tell you what to eat except for you.